Subscribe and be part of our storytelling journey. I used to believe that love could heal anything, that if you gave enough of yourself, love would give back twice as much. That's what I believed when I met Laura. She was gentle, full of grace, a woman whose laughter could make silence feel alive again. She was a widow with a teenage son named Ryan, and I admired the way she carried her pain, quietly, but with dignity. When we got married, I thought I was the luckiest man alive. I wasn't just gaining a wife, I was gaining a family. I tried to be a father to Ryan. I went to his games, helped him study, taught him how to drive. But no matter what I did, I could feel the invisible wall between us. He'd look at me with that same guarded expression. Not hate exactly, but a cold suspicion. I thought time would fix it. I thought love would soften him, but I was wrong. The cracks began small, tiny moments of tension. He'd roll his eyes if I suggested something, twist my words when talking to his mother. Sometimes I'd find Laura quiet, withdrawn, as if she was thinking about something painful. "Everything okay?" I'd ask. She'd smile, that polite smile people wear when they're hiding doubt, and say, "Of course, honey." But I could feel it. Something was shifting, and I didn't know that my home, the one I built with love, was slowly becoming the stage for my own heartbreak. It was a Sunday afternoon when everything fell apart. Laura came home early, her eyes red and swollen. She didn't even take off her coat. "Ethan," she said, her voice trembling, "we need to talk." Ryan stood behind her, arms folded, looking small but defiant. I didn't know it then, but he had already planted the seeds, lies that would burn everything I had built. He told her I'd screamed at him, that I'd grabbed him by the collar when she wasn't around, that I was jealous of her love for him and wanted to send him away. None of it was true. Not a word, but Laura believed him. She wanted so desperately to protect her son that she didn't even let me speak. "I trusted you with him," she said, tears streaming down her cheeks, "and you betrayed that trust." "Laura, listen to me," I pleaded, my voice cracking. "I would never lay a hand on him. You know me. You know me." But she didn't answer. She turned her face away, shaking her head, as if looking at me hurt too much. "Please, just go," she whispered, "before I call the police." That moment, that single sentence, cut deeper than any knife ever could. I stood frozen, staring at the woman I'd loved more than my own life. The woman who once said she couldn't imagine a day without me, now looked at me like a stranger. Ryan smirked as I picked up my bag. I saw it. That tiny curve of satisfaction on his lips. And that's when I knew. He'd won. The door closed behind me with a sound I'll never forget. The sound of love dying. The days after that were a blur of loneliness. I crashed on a friend's couch. Couldn't eat. Couldn't sleep. I'd stare at the ceiling, replaying that moment over and over, trying to figure out where I went wrong. I sent messages to Laura. Long ones, explaining, begging her to hear me out. She never replied. People started whispering. "Did you hear? Laura's husband got thrown out for hitting her son." No one asked for my side. No one cared. I lost my job within 2 months. Depression took over everything. I was angry, not just at them, but at myself for loving people who could break me so easily. But somewhere in that darkness, a spark ignited. I realized no one was coming to save me. So I saved myself. I took the last bit of money I had and started a small construction business. At first it was nothing. A few repairs, some painting work. But I worked like a man possessed. Every nail I hammered was a way to rebuild not just my life, but my pride. Months turned into a year. And slowly, things changed. My business grew. My name started to mean something again. I hired people, bought equipment, and opened an office. For the first time in a long while, I felt peace. And then one evening, as the sun dipped below the city skyline, my phone buzzed. It was an email. From Laura. My heart stopped when I saw her name. The message was short. "I'm sorry, Ethan. Can we talk?" We met at a small cafe, the same one where we used to spend lazy Sunday mornings together. When I saw her, I barely recognized her. Her hair was grayer, her eyes hollow, her smile forced. "She didn't waste time," Ryan confessed, she said, her voice breaking. "He told me everything. He lied. About everything. He was angry, jealous. He just wanted you gone." Her tears fell fast. "I'm so sorry, Ethan. I destroyed the only man who truly loved me." I sat there, silent, my chest tight. For years I had imagined this moment, what I'd say, how I'd feel. But now that it was here, I just felt empty. "It's okay," I said finally. "I forgave you a long time ago." She reached across the table, desperate. "Please, can we start over? I'll fix it, I promise." I looked at her hand, then at her eyes that once held my world. "No," I said softly. "Some things can't be rebuilt, Laura. Not because I hate you, but because I learned to live without you." Her lips trembled. "I lost everything," she whispered. "Ryan barely talks to me. He can't forgive himself. We lost our home, our peace." I stood up, smiled gently, and said, "I didn't take it from you. You gave it away." Then I left. Outside, the evening air was warm. I looked up at the sky, free, calm, and finally at peace. Since then, I've built more than a company. I've built a new life, a new home, and a heart that no longer breaks when it remembers the past. And every once in a while, when someone wrongs me, I remember this. Revenge doesn't always come in screams or fury. Sometimes it comes quietly, in the form of peace, success, and a life so beautiful that those who betrayed you can only watch from afar. Moral: when someone throws you out of their world, don't chase them. Walk away and build a world so beautiful that they'll wish they never let you go. Because the sweetest revenge is not anger, it's peace.